welcome back to Starfarers of Catan. It is indeed my turn, and with that, let's just go right ahead. First thing we do on a turn, of course, is we roll for resources. So I'm the green team, and I roll an 8. All right, so there's an 8 here and an 8 here, and that's all we have so far. So yellow, Talos is going to get a carbon. That's not good. And over here, I am going to get 1 fuel, and that is going to be that. And now I should mention, because I've been saying, I think if you have less than 6 victory points, it's if you have less than 7 victory points, you get to draw 2 cards from the reserve stack. And so I'm going to be drawing 2 cards. So this time, I have a ton of cards, ton of cards. So this is very good for me. I have basically 3 fuels, 1 ore, a carbon, a trade good, and 3 food. So let me process this information, and then the next step is going to be trading with other players or buying things. So let me think about this and come right back. All right, so I've consulted with the other 2, Craig the Klingon and Talos the Talosian, and they don't want to trade. I was willing to give up a food for a trade good, but nobody wants to do it. So what I am going to do is I'm going to trade in my 3 food, so 3 for 1, and I'm going to get 1 fuel. And now I actually have 4 fuel, and that's going to buy me 2 boosters, because I want to be able to move around the galaxy here quickly. So that's going to get me 2 boosters for my ship, in effect giving me +2 speed. And I will just hang on to my ore, carbon, and trade good for the next turn. All right, so after all that, I'm have to shake my ship and see what my speed is for this turn. And wow, I don't have an encounter. I have a red ball and I have a yellow. So I think that's about as fast as I can get. Red and yellow is going to be 5, plus my 2 boosters gives me a total speed of 7. And so I'm going to actually move 1, 2, 3, 4. I still have 3 movement left. So I get to look at these, and that token is a 3, and this token is a 5. So you know what? I am actually not going to move my extra 2. I am going to colonize this location. So you take your ship off, it goes back into the reserves, and I have now built a colony here next to a carbon planet and a food planet. So if a 5 or 3 is rolled on the die, I will collect resources for that. And of course, a colony is worth a victory point. So going way up to the victory point track, green goes from 4 victory points up to 5, tying Talos. And that's going to conclude my turn. Over next to Craig the Klingon. All right, so it is Craig the Klingon's turn. And what he is going to do, of course, first thing is you roll the resource dice. So 3. Oh, bonus, because I just colonized that area. All right, so we have to find everywhere that has a 3. There's none here, none here. So there's a 3 here. So Craig and I both get a carbon for that world. So I get a carbon, and Craig gets a carbon. And I have a newly colonized space, a colony here, next to a food planet. So I am also going to collect a food for that 3. So that's worked out extremely well for me. Craig, of course, has less than 7 victory points. So he will collect 2 more resources from the reserve pile. And now he's got to do a little bit of thinking and see what he is going to either build or try to trade. All right, so the first thing Craig's going to do, he's going to cash in 2 carbon. And if you look here, if you trade in or use 2 carbon, you can buy a cannon. So he's going to arm his ship. He's a Klingon after all. Armaments is key to him, so he puts a cannon onto his ship. And the next thing he's going to buy is he has enough resources to buy a trade ship. You need an ore, a fuel, and 2 trade goods, and that's exactly what he has, an ore, a fuel, 2 trade goods. So he's going to cash that in, and by cashing that in, he is going to end up getting a trade ship. So I'll just show you the trade ship here, and it's basically, what the trade ship is there's these tinier bases. These are to build trade stations. And he's going to pick the number 3 ship and put that on there. And ships need to be built adjacent to a spaceport of your own spaceport, of course. So he's going to put his trade ship there. All right. And so, with all of that done, and he didn't want to trade with anyone because so that he just bypassed that. All right, so now we're on to determine your speed. So he's going to shake his ship, and there's the black ball. He is going to have an encounter. So we draw the top card of the encounter deck, and we'll get that set up and see what's going to happen to Craig. Oh, and it's going to happen to his number 1 ship, which is one with 2 bumps here, his colony ship, not his trade ship, if the effect affects a ship itself. All right, so we're going to take a look at the first part, and it says, you encounter a space pirate who offers to rob the other players if you pay him 1 resource. Your choice. Do you accept? Well, this is Craig we're talking about. He's all about piracy, beating people up and stealing things, and of course just mayhem. So he is going to trade. He has a food resource. So the answer to that question is yes. And so we go on to the yes. Do you accept? Give the pirate a resource of your choice and roll your mothership. Okay, well, he roll his mothership, and he ends up with just a yellow ball and a black ball. A yellow is a 2. And so looking at the rest of the card, if you rolled a 1 or 2, you'd read this, 3, 4, or a 5. So he rolled a 1, he rolled a 2. The pirate cheats you and vanishes with your resources. You lose a fame ring. Well, that'll teach you, Craig, for being a scumball. So he's going to lose his fame ring. That's not going to knock him down in points, because for every 2 fame rings, you get a victory point. He only has 1. Now he has none. So shame on you, Craig, but hey, within character. That is going to be the end of Craig's turn. Up next, Talos. All right, so it is Talos' turn, the big bulbous head boy, from the Talosian world. All right, and first thing, of course, we do is he's going to roll the resource dice, and he rolls a 9. Well, let's take a look. There's no 9 here, none here, none here. The only 9 we have down here is a fuel world next to Craig the Klingon. So only Craig gets a resource. There, he gets 1 fuel. Now, of course, Talos has less than 7 victory points, so he will gather 2 resources from the reserve pile, take a look at what he has in his hand, and come right back and make some decisions. All right, so Talos is willing to trade an ore for a trade good, and Craig has already said no. I'm thinking about it. But I don't know what he wants that trade good for, unless he wants a trade ship. And you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to trade with him. So he's stuck. All right, so what he's going to do then, he's going to cash in 2 ore, and he is going to get himself one of these lovely freight rings. So snap, it goes onto his ship. So he's got a cannon, he has 1 booster, and now he has 1 trade ring. And that's it. So he is now has to roll his ship to determine his speed. And you know what? I never moved Craig. Oh, I apologize. I never moved Craig's ships at all. Craig has a base speed of 3. So we're going to do that now. Sorry about that. Craig has a base speed of 3. He has 1 booster. He can move his ships 4. And he's going to move this one 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry about that. And he's going to move his newly built trade ship 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. All right. Sorry about that. Back to Talos. When I do encounters, I often forget to move the ships afterwards. You're not supposed to do that. All right. Let's go now to Talos. He's going to roll his ship. He has a black ball, so he's going to be having an encounter. So let's see what it is. All right. So looking at this, it says you approach a wormhole. Do you wish to attempt a space jump? Well, if he was Crichton, I'd say go for it, but it's his choice. Does he want to try a space jump? He is going to say No, he's not going to bother because he's already close to where he wants to be. The player to your left draws a new encounter card for you. So basically, he gets a new encounter card. And so up we go for the new encounter card instead. You encounter a merchant. How many resources, up to 3, will you give him? And wow, he doesn't want to really do too much. He's going to give him 2. He's going to give him a carbon and a fuel. All right, so the Talosian gave up a fuel and a carbon. And it says the merchant turns out to be a pirate in disguise and attempts to make off with your gift. Oh, that's pretty nasty. Do you attack? And the Talosian is like, yes, we attack. It says you must fight. The player to your right, who in this instance will be Craig, takes on the role of the pirate. You must each roll your mothership and add your cannons. Is the other party stronger? So either Talos will win or Craig the pirates will win. So Talos gets a red and a blue. That is a total of 4 plus 1 cannon is 5. And Craig's ship rolls just a yellow. 2 plus 1 is 3. So the Talosians have an awesome ship. And let's have a look and see. So is the other player stronger? No. So it's a victory for Talos. You get your resources back and receive a fame ring. All right. So he gets back his carbon and fuel. And he gets a fame ring for defeating the pirates. So on top of his ship, we're going to add another fame ring. He has 3 fame rings now. So of course, divisible by 2 is a victory point. So he's 3, gets another fame ring. He's going to get another victory point. All right, and let's not forget this time, he gets to move his ships as well. And so he has 1 booster on his ship. So he can move his ships a base of 3 plus 1 is 4 spaces. So he's going to move first here 1. He's going to take a look at what we have. And he has to make a decision. He can move 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Well, he can't get over there. You know what? He's going to build himself a colony. Right there, colony ship. And what we have here is a 4 on a fuel planet, a 10 on a food planet. And yes, because he just built another colony, he gets another victory point. Talos moves up to 6 victory points. And that is going to conclude today's episode of the Starfarers of Catan. It's myself versus Craig the Klingon in red, and Talos the Talosian playing the yellow team. I'm green, of course, so here we go. We're Craig has 4 points, I have 5, and Talos has 6. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Join me next time for the continuation of the Starfarers of Catan 3-player game. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching.